Yeah, he'll be fine. But seriously, stay away from that stuff. You already know what I'm gonna say. Anyway, welcome everybody. You already know what's gonna happen. Sorry for those of you who weren't here for today's early morning stream. My apologies. Nothing happened. Sometimes I just take an impromptu couple of days off, which I shouldn't do, but you know, sometimes I'm just tired. So, you know, I also bought Battlefront 2, the EA game, for $4. It's actually all right. It's got problems. I wish they hadn't abandoned it, but it's all right. I've been playing that with my friends, but other than that, none too major. All right. Pokemon, right? Pokemon. Okay. We'll prep the outro screen. In fact, we can almost just keep it on the whole time, which is kind of funny. So, I don't know. I said this earlier. Narg might remember. We are 100 days away. Less than 100 days now. It might be like 99, 98 days away from Pokemon Legends ZA. So, is everybody excited for Pokemon Legends ZA? Well, I hope you are, because it's coming in hot. I'll tell you that much. What was I going to do again? Okay, so we have a couple Pokemon we need. We're doing Glaceon and Flareon today. Alright, well, you know what we're doing first, so you don't even need me to tell you. And we have a Scyther Outbreak, which is perfect. We could use Flamethrower afterwards. We actually use both. That's actually... How many Pokemon are weak to Ice? It's not great. It's not a great amount. Whatever, okay. Alright. We are going to go find a Magikarp. Oh, I did message this dude to see if he wanted to join me. He never messaged back, so he's probably busy. He's playing Warhammer. Okay, that's fine. Alright, I just wanted to check in. I wanted to see if he was going to be around. Alpha Geodude. Let's look at the Eevee spawns first. How to pick up a duck. There's like 5 of them. What is that? Some weird indie game. When's the next flavor of the month indie game? I kind of like just seeing them pop up. Like, remember when Repo was big and popping? That's not to say it's dead, but... Man, water is so good. Peak? Oh, literally the game is called Peak. Yeah, I'm playing Peak, guys. I'm playing Peak. How many days has it been since the last actual non-Arceus stream for Pokemon? Remember when this was like everything? Or I miss streaming this game like almost every day. Damn, I never thought I would say those words, but somehow it got worse. And then it got better, because the game actually allows for decent shiny hunting. Okay. So because we have, what is it? 99 days, 98 days, I guess I could just squeeze in the legendaries, right? There's only, what? How many legendaries are there in this game? 18, I think? And Arceus comes pre-mastered, so there's 17 legendaries, and some of them are probably easier than the evolutions, so we could technically just squeeze that out. I think I might do that, actually. Even though you can't re-encounter the legendaries. Right? Might as well just go all the way. I don't know. Just play it after raid on Tuesday. From now until October, unless I need an extra stream or something. Ugh, something in my eye. Trout Vampire Survivors? Is that top-down shooter? My friend plays it. I'm not like a huge fan of it. Oh no, I was just wondering when the next random indie game of the year was. That's really what I was asking. When's the next one coming out? For, you know, just for shits and giggles. I'm probably not checking it out myself. Love letter to Castlevania. Isn't that a sad, like, 4-letter sentence? Imagine we have to write love letters to Castlevania when Konami could just make more Castlevania. Like, isn't that like the most insane shit? Like, they could just make another Castlevania. The fact that Igarashi and all these other people, assuming they didn't leave just because they felt ready to, you know, if they left because they felt like they couldn't do anything more, it's really sad what they did to Inafune and Igarashi. Mikami, I think, might have left on his own. I'm not too certain. It's very annoying. It's very just depressing. The absolute state of Japanese IPs. They have absolutely not written themselves into a corner. They could continue Soma's story. I've said this forever. They literally could just continue Soma's story. Which the year hasn't even arrived yet, technically. You know, we talk about Black Ops. I think Castlevania Aria of Sorrow is what? $2032? It's hard to keep dressing up Symphony with new mechanics. I think people won't care. I'm not saying it's going to sell Call of Duty numbers, obviously. You're never going to get dudes from the hood to play fucking Castlevania, most likely. But it would, you know, it would be nice. Like, I'm sick of everything just being Call of Duty, 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 and a bunch of COD clones. Remember when every game was a COD clone for like 10 years? And then every game was a fucking Battle Royale, PUBG, Fortnite clone? And then everything was an Overwatch clone? Like Concord. Plus, it's been long enough. They could do something. They could try something. Like, the last Castlevania game was genuinely like 2014. They could do it. They won't, but they could. I think they're going to try to maybe at least milk a little bit more out of Yu-Gi-Oh!, Metal Gear, and Silent Hill. Yeah, I think they should remake the PS2 games. Remake or remaster them. Put them on a collection, call it a day, because they're very... Lament of Innocence, I think you could buy. Curse of Darkness, you can't buy. On a PlayStation Network, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Alright. How many times do we have to do this? We get 10 times each, right? I think we're done. If not, oh wait, no, never mind. We're not done. I'm stupid. Curse of Darkness is that one dude... No, but a full RE4 remake. I really don't like that RE4's remake is now like the pavement... or the paved way for remaking, honestly, but whatever. It's a simple fact. One company experiences success with a new formula, and other companies try to suck the life out the formula so they can make money too. Yeah, but they all could do that while also keeping that identity, you know? There's ways to do it. To say that it's impossible, not that anyone has here, but, you know, to say that it can't be done is all not true. They could totally do it. Whatever boardroom meetings they're having, they're idiots. I'm convinced a bunch of fans could replace the C-suite, given enough money, and tell the devs, you know what to do. And just, here's a couple things we need you to hit, and then the rest is up to you. And obviously there's more that goes into it than that. Obviously there's licensing and all sorts of stuff, but it really ultimately comes down to that. Because, like, there's tons of indie devs that just show up and make tons of money doing pretty much more or less exactly that. Same thing happened with books. It's the reason why there are so many stupid werewolf and vamp. Yeah, okay, that is true. You know, and then we had the TV show era. But you want to know what's sad? You know, all these TV shows I never would have watched a decade or more ago. Now I actually would watch it because it makes me nostalgic, you know? It's the same reason why the older I get, the more I like House. Because you will never have another House. Ever. It will just never happen. You will never have that kind of offensive comedy, and we all know it's a fucking joke anymore. It would just never happen. It sucks. What is that? Vietnamese? Got to reload. Sudanese? Okay, I was never getting that. He's pulling out all the stops. He's got to get that ancient underground Antarctic like dialect spoken by a rare race of humans that long went extinct because they used the Antarctic as like a weather research station and formed a polar ice cap. That's what we really have to do. I think it's a tragedy Bram Stoker died before he saw the full impact of Dracula. That is actually depressing. I didn't know that. Tide seems to be turning. No, not nerd culture. Have you seen what they're prepping? We're gonna get another healthy dose of it. You bet your sweet ass. It's not going anywhere. We'll see is the most accurate thing to say. Now, Ironheart running into a brick wall at 50 miles an hour head first might be one of the funniest things I've seen in my life. Like, I don't know why they didn't cancel it. I guess they were too far along. They figured, fuck it, just release it. But, like, who's even a fan of Ironheart? You know, like, everyone I know is like Iron Man or Cap or Spider-Man or Hulk or Thor, right? Like, who the fuck cares about a derivative DEI character? Does anybody? Even Miles had to kind of have his own shit going on before he really became more adopted by the fan base, and he definitely ran into that same exact backlash. So I don't know who's a fan of Ironheart. It seems like a show that was destined to fail even in the best of years because it doesn't have an established fan base. So who the fuck wants to watch Ironheart? Any of you want to watch Ironheart? Riri Williams? You even know who that is? That shit came out and is gonna vanish right back into the fucking ether from whence it came. You know why? Because nobody gives a fuck about Ironheart. Let's just be honest. So maybe. I think Disney's gonna have to do more than just take a bunch of characters that they shoved into stuff and then put them in this big overarching MCU. The MCU just feels overly bloated from everything I see from it now. It feels like it's kind of aimless. It doesn't have any real direction. It just exists. But that said, there's no movies I really want to see, so. The most movie thing I want to see is the new Bond game. Yeah, I heard about Ironheart when they made her because people were like, why the fuck does she exist? This was right at the turn of people saying like, wow, so all we're gonna do now is just take a white character, turn them black or female or gay or all three or some combo, and that's gonna be our new fucking product. And the answer, unfortunately, is yes. Franz Kafka wrote legend novels thinking to himself he would never reach the old literary masters. Ironically, The Metamorphosis is one of my favorite books. The Metamorphosis is such a great book. Even if without reading any deeper into the story. See, this is what really got me hooked on reading. Some of y'all are real novelists or readers or everything. When I was younger, it's not that I couldn't read, it's I didn't care about any of the generic young adult slop that they threw on my plate and were like, hey, read this. I was like, I didn't like it. I didn't vibe with any of it. You know, now that I'm older, I have more of a nostalgia for my youth and stuff like that. So yeah, but you know, I like Animal Farm because of that, because even if you don't know any of the references, you still kind of understand the message. You still kind of, even if you just vibe with the story for what it is, you just follow this unfortunate group of animals as they descend into complete anarchy. Well, not anarchy, but you know, everything just goes shit tits up for them. Nothing good ever happens, as they say. Same thing with 1984 and everything else. Isn't it weird every Wakanda superhero is some kind of war criminal? Yeah, they didn't think that far ahead, did they? Young minority girl one-ups Tony Stark that says she has a harder life than him. Yeah, that's going to get people to watch it. That's why I don't think, even in the best of years, I don't think it would have worked. She's there for the BIPOC, so they can know that if they sell stuff, it's all right. Or if they steal stuff, it's all right because the man is holding them down. I mean, like, I just, you know, people don't like it. And this is why Disney will never understand this, because they clearly still do it years after doing it to Luke Skywalker. People just don't like it when you take your heroes and you just shit all over them. Now, normally when I have this convo with my friends, I try to shortcut it, but it's my stream, so fuck it, I'll rant about it if I want. but people just don't like it. It's not a winning play. You know, like, who wants to watch your favorite hero become this old, bitter failure, like, cuckold that never accomplished his dreams, that basically is just a waste of space so he could get lectured by the modern audience implant, whether it's female or black or gay. You know, like, I just think instead of doing that, we should make new stuff. Instead of turning Bond black, we should make something new. Al Jazeera would spend every penny writing op-eds about Ironheart. Funny you say Al Jazeera as if we just don't have that in America. It's called Kotaku and Polygon. What a shame. Hey, look, I'm hyped for that Bond game, you know? Like, all I'm saying is I hope it's not too Hitman-esque. Honestly, guys, maybe we play some Bond games this summer. You know, once I'm... what? Camera shifted. That was very weird. That almost never happens because the roof is very small here. Where are these things? So maybe I play some of the Bond games this summer. Everything or Nothing. What are the other ones I used to play? Everything or Nothing. Nightfire again. Oh, I went way overboard. Oops. Whoops. Well, we're at 30. Let's get Glaceon out the way because... Okay, yeah, because we could... There's a lot of things that we could fight for Flareon. We could go back to Coronet, and we could fight a bunch of grass types and a bunch of steel types. Which, let's get Glaceon out the way first. Okay, there we go. It's gonna say I'm too far, isn't it? No. Okay. I just think that some of these projects were so far in the pipeline that by the time they got the message, they couldn't turn it away. They had to fucking drop it. So, I mean, do I feel bad for them? Of course not. Fuck them. It's Disney. Why would I ever feel bad for Disney? Ever in a million years. I feel bad for the line level workers. I don't feel bad for any C-suite of almost any company on the fucking planet.
Ah, yes, it is.
Oh, see, he knows. All right, well, we'll hop off that. What's up with you?
No, keep going.
No, I'm asking what's good, homie. What's good in the hood?
Nothing.
What? Nothing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, I was praising Battlefront 2. The problem is I wish they would update it or make a... See, it just sucks. I feel like Battlefront 2 with a couple updates could be such a really good game, but unfortunately we'll never see that timeline.
Yeah, if only they nerf that sniper rifle, the MP, not letting this thing one-shot kill everybody.
I just think it should be faster to unlock things. And, like, that's going to be the most surprising thing, maybe to someone who's watching the stream, is like, oh, you're enjoying a Star Wars game that's not the Fallen games? Yeah, actually, I kind of am. Because it's got that Battlefield lime wedge, you know? Even though I don't like the card system, and like, there's a lot I don't like about it, but like for $4 and I don't have to pay for online, it basically sold itself to me. Like, I could deal with that. That's dope. It's Ice Beam, right? Yes. Okay. That's all I needed to hear. It's $4 and you could just run around, and then we just play Clone Wars, basically.
Play nothing else.
The thing that they should do, and this is where EA got lazy, is they made it so that way the clones have 21 skins. It's fucking insane. And then the First Order has like one skin for the sniper. You can never change it. There's definitely not a balance of skins. I think that's one of the biggest things.
It's a lore thing, because again, the clones had battalions. The Empire didn't do the whole battalion thing. They made everything uniform. But
you know what I'm gonna say, right? Just make a couple skins, you know? Make at least 3. So you know what I mean? Like, it just feels wrong to have a game where gee, clones, why does mom let you have 21 skins and I deploy looking the same every day? I get it, right? But also, no, I think they should have skins. I think they were just lazy. In the same way that the Resistance and the Rebels literally share the same characters. I don't like that, personally. But I'm never gonna play those eras, so it doesn't matter. Fuck it.
Oh my god.
Supremacy, I would play Empire Supremacy if the Empire had you went up into the ships. Because you don't, it just sucks. It's like, it feels like half a game mode. You know, you're just playing
Empire
Conquest.
Doesn't, but the clones and Resistance era shit does.
Unfortunately, it's Resistance era. Do you think I could not be...
You offer me a job.
What was it we were playing that someone said that? Was it KOTOR 2? You offered me a job.
I'm a big deal in the Resistance.
Oh my... The quotes in the sequel trilogy are so fucking ass, dude. I'm a big deal in the Resistance, that is.
Where's the girl?
The girl. The only one who wins is Kylo, because Kylo's at least funny with his quotes. The girl. Rey, I could sense the life in her. Don't make me like Star Wars again, please. Leave me in my ball of hatred. He won't, by the way. We'll probably be playing it later tonight. Not too late, though, because I know you have work, so... I'm gonna try to finish this up, and then, we only have another 3 sessions of, what's it called? Lego Star Wars. Yeah, I'm
yeah, not
no.
6, by the way, because I refuse to play the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, I refuse to play the sequel trilogy. I refuse to torture my viewers with me bitching about the sequel trilogy while actually playing a game about this. Pretty much the only game that will ever come out about the sequel trilogy.
The part where Rey starts up the Millennium Falcon. You see? This doesn't make sense. This ship has been in a junkyard for how many years? How'd she manage to start this up?
Yeah, the ship was perfectly ready for her to fly away on. I love episode 2. It's so brain melting. He loves Attack of the Clones, dude. Padme gets clawed and then she wears the black dress.
No,
I mean, can you blame?
Can't.
That black dress shit is becoming a meme out of nowhere, kind of. It's a soft meme. But like, it actually genuinely is brain melting. Like, I'm like, look, dude. That is the definition of mixed signals.
Hey, you shouldn't touch fire. But just remember.
Fire look good. It feel good. And my god, I want to put my dick in fire. I'm a Jedi Knight.
I hope not.
I'm just saying, man. You get a good-looking redhead with blue and green eyes, blue in her right eye, green in her left. She show up in my DMs in a red dress, bro. It's a fucking wrap, dude. Dark side, here I come. Holy shit. Spray, I have a question for Max, but I have to go BRB. Yeah, he'll be okay. Take your time, dude. That's so funny, Max. That black dress is one of the most devious things I've ever seen in a piece of media. That's like Othello, when Othello keeps thinking that Desdemona is cuckolding him.
I don't even think they show it in Lego Star Wars. Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't. They didn't. Dude, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, mommy issues revealed. When did I ever say that she was older than me? What are you talking about? I'm idealizing a perfect redhead. It's a shame, though. It'll never happen. That's why it's a fantasy. It's a Final Fantasy.
I have this helmet. What the fuck?
No, sorry, man. I'm not a big fan of, what is it called? Mommy Dom, whatever. Nah, I'm good. Stole my joke. Yeah, well, one of us has to be the comedian, Narg, and it's gonna be me. Alright, let's see if today is the day. Chimchar is not shiny. Infernape is not shiny. I'm gonna do this for the rest of eternity, by the way. Yeah, if you guys think that this is the end of Pokemon Legends Arceus, you're gonna be really surprised to find out it's not. And this game will continue even beyond ZA. It won't be a mainstay game, though. It'll be something like, will I start playing it on my own time? Wait. Oh, I thought that was shiny. Think about that shit.
Girl.
This is like Terraria fishing. I don't know if he's talking about my imaginary, like...
Not the biggest fan of fishing in games, but I will say Stellar Blades fishing was actually pretty fun.
Oh my lord. Well, I'll try it, but I gotta get back to Stellar Blade, which means I have to get back to Death Stranding, which means I have to play Death Stranding tomorrow.
And I have to get back to playing Yakuza Pirate.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy Yakuza 0, but we're not gonna play Yakuza until maybe this fall at best.
Man's wanted to play English dub. Heard it was Yang Ye.
Fuck
nope.
me. Yeah, no, I might play sub, bro. Except for Yakuza 7, because I heard that Kiryu's voice actor is really good in Yakuza 7.
Yeah, I think it's the guy from the first game. The first original game, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Did they get Mark Hamill back for, what is it?
Majima?
Yeah, Majima, the crazy dude.
I don't think he voiced Majima. No, I think Majima was eventually voiced by Matt Mercer.
Yeah, that's fair. Is Matt Mercer still Leon's voice actor? Because he wasn't always Leon's voice actor. It was Paul Mercier in Resident Evil 4. I wonder what he's doing now. He did such a good job. Leon in Resident Evil 4 is one of the most iconic characters in fiction to me.
Too bad he's not going to be in 9 because Leon's too brave.
And Leon is also getting too old.
I mean, look at Chris, bro. Chris is how old in 8?
In his 50s.
Yeah, this man's still fucking probably punching boulders and shit.
No, bro, I think his best days are behind him. Resident Evil is going to encounter a problem where they're not going to be able to fall back on their time-tested main characters. They're going to have to actually bring some new blood to the table and get people invested in them, or reboot it.
Or here's an idea. We finally give Jill some attention after all this time.
We need to have a Jill Claire Power Hour. And you want to know what's crazy? If they do it anywhere near remotely correct, no one is going to accuse it of being DEI because these are established, beloved characters. We will have the most female-centric Resident Evil in history. It's just going to be Jill, Claire, Sheva, and Rebecca.
Jill being able to just kickbox a freaking Nemesis or a T-Virus monster is just like, I mean, walking human petri dish of umbrella viruses over here, so yeah, that makes sense.
You want to know what's crazy, though? Like, Jill looks... So, I blame this on them reusing models, and I was telling Max about this. Jill's model in Death Island, which is canonically her latest appearance, after 5, of course, by the way, so think about that, right? After all the blonde shit of 5, she looks exactly like she did in 1998 and like 2017. So I blame that, again, like, you know, the whole Resident Evil 7, and that's not Chris type problem. I'm Redfield. I blame that. It's just weird.
There's a lore. I feel like the lore reason they could use to justify it is, again, she was experimented on by Wesker. So as a result, she ages slower than a lot of people.
But she reversed age, homie, and her hair went back to being brunette. What? She literally looks like she did in 1998. Yeah, Viv, you can ask a question. I'll read it to him. I'm here. I had to stream you because I'm playing a game that requires... Yeah, no problem. That's nothing wrong with that. Jill can't help us. She's barren from her age. It doesn't matter. There's no guarantee. We don't really even know how, like, an actual T-Virus survivor's fertility would be affected either.
I think Jill is about, what, in her late 40s?
She's probably in her late 40s. Yeah, she's slightly younger than Chris. I think Chris is 23 in the original game, 26, and Jill is a couple years younger. Rebecca's 18. I remember that.
So Rebecca would be late 30s?
Late 30s, yeah. I think she's 40 in that one movie where Chris does the gun fu, like he's in a John Woo film.
The one where you were like, this is so unnecessary.
Hey, it's funny as shit. Can't even lie.
Listen, watching that hallway scene with him and Leon.
And remember, someone pointed this out, in that movie, they have a cure for the T-Virus. They could actually bring people back if they get, you know, injected early enough. They don't have to die. I mean, so they're like, all right, just light them up. I mean, like, look, I'm not gonna deny, if you get infected, you're probably fucked up. You're probably fucked. Like, I'm just saying, bro. You're probably not coming back. Like,
on the small chance you somehow survive, Umbrella's gonna lock you up.
Well, there's no umbrella at this time. It's just people running around with canisters of T-virus gas.
No, it's the BSAA. The BSAA is like the new umbrella now.
Yeah, who knows where that plot line's going. And why the fuck are we going back to Raccoon City? I don't want to accuse this game of being an asset flip, because some of my favorite games of the last couple years are quote-unquote asset flips. But, you know, it's not exactly a huge dub, I would argue. A Germanic Terminator Hypno doll. No, but it's really weird how her hair is blonde. I always assumed that the blonde was permanent because of her experimentation. Like, that was kind of my interpretation. But if you're gonna take the movie literally at face value,
funny enough, the girl who played Jill in the live action movies, Jill ends up showing up again later on in the live action movies.
Oh, you're talking about the Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part. There's another, you know, we were talking about Ironheart earlier. There was another series no one even bothers to fucking defend, which is the Resident Evil series. I see bootlicks defending a lot of shit. I don't see any bootlickers defending Resident Evil.
Tony Stark was so smart because he was because he built it in a cave. No, he was so good because
he had rich money. Yeah, he built this thing under pressure, guarded by terrorists, you know. Meanwhile, I'm sitting in an MIT lab. It would be like if they had a Half-Life remake and Gordon Freeman was a complete fucking asshole. Just a complete obnoxious cock. They should make Mila Jovovich.
Somehow Alex became the main character and shat on Freeman.
Yeah, and the whole game is Alex just shitting on Gordon. The whole game. Instead of trying to waifu with Gordon, which was the thing they were building towards. Unfortunately. That's like one of the biggest, they even make a joke about that in one of the games. Which is a little weird because it's basically Gordon's former, like, doctoral, like, friend saying you should get with my daughter because now you're about the same age. Because Gordon was in a time stasis and she aged up normally. Little weird. Not the weirdest thing in the world. Little weird. Oh, wait. No, we have 10 more. Okay, we have 10 more Agile cells. We have to evolve 2 Eevees. Wait, what? Half-Life Alex? No, just in general, the character. We're shooting the shit. Alright, so is there any canon lightsaber on Saber Hilt Destruction? There are hands cut off and sabers getting cut, but I don't know of an on-saber hit. I'm not sure I get what you're saying for Star Wars. Like,
you mean like if a lightsaber, like if somebody intentionally tried to break a lightsaber by slashing at it while it's in somebody's hand?
I guess. I'm not really too sure.
Did that happen?
Seems like lightsabers are prone to just being broken. He says yes. I think it would just turn off.
I have to
honestly.
Yeah, either the lightsaber crystal just breaks,
or it turns off because it's no longer held. You know, it's not put together anymore. It's broken. You ever play a game called Darkwood? No, but I think I've heard of it. Darkwood. That's Not My Neighbor. And what's that new one? It's like grim and depressing, where you're like all the sun is like started scorching everyone, and you have to look out for like visitors. I forget the name of it. I've been trying to beat it for like a week or two now. Horrifying ass game. I already told you, my new obsession is going to be beating Welcome to the Game 2. That's going to be something I'm going to stream eventually, TM. Yeah, it's like I'm human or something. Yeah, something like that. I'm not human.
Or you just do those videos I've been seeing lately. running a Dead Space marathon until they announce Dead Space 4.
You're gonna die sooner than they announce Dead Space 4 at this point. Oh, did you see Kamiya spoke out about the Helena Taylor shit?
I have to remember what that is.
Remember when Bayonetta's voice actress was like, they didn't pay me?
Oh boy, what did he say?
So, well, no, Kamiya was in the right, actually, because she gets paid royalties, which was the part she left out. And unfortunately, that's kind of the end of that. Kamiya was like, a bunch of people, you know, big name people were calling him out, and then afterwards, they didn't even apologize publicly. They were like, oh, Kamiya and Platinum are pieces of shit. They didn't pay her what they owe her. And then, you know, after it all came out that she was getting paid what she should, she just wanted a bigger lump sum, you know, or whatever the fuck it was.
I have to translate a lot of Kamiya's posts, all of his posts.
Yeah, they translated it.
But this man always has the most savage comebacks.
He was right about that. That whole situation was kind of fucked. She absolutely should not have said that the way it was. It's really, because basically what it does is, what do you think is going to happen? A bunch of people who are Bayonetta fans are really anti-company, which is fair, are going to immediately be like, Platinum Games is exploiting their labor. And that wasn't the case, and that wasn't true, and unfortunately, like, I initially also believed it too, because I'm like, yeah, you know, companies, it's really easy to be the little man, and then, you know, try to work with companies, and then say, oh no, well, they're exploiting me. I'm not getting paid what I'm owed. So yeah, I was fucked. To say that she only got paid like a pittance. But like, there is truth to that, because back in the day, a lot of people voice acted a lot of shit and got paid dirt for it. And they never got, you know, for how big some of these franchises got, they never got what they should have earned. It has to do with sword guys on YouTube saying the saber needs a crossguard, and that a crossguard saber would get cut if you guard with it. My theory is the emitter makes an invisible guard.
Oh, is he talking about Shad University?
I have no idea. So basically, a crossguard saber, I think the crossguard would probably just get damaged, if I'm being totally honest.
Unless the crossguard was made out of lightsaber energy.
Yeah, if it was, the more it's made out of lightsaber energy, the more it'll probably work. But I'm thinking,
the other idea is to make it out of cortosis weave.
Anyway.
Or pure Beskar.
Yeah, Beskar is basically the Disney equivalent of cortosis.
No, it's not. It's not a Disney thing.
It might as well
Pure
be.
Beskar has always been able to do that.
Has it? Okay, I'm wrong. I'll take it back.
A lot of Mandalorians use Pure Beskar is very rare to get. So a lot of Mandalorians wear Beskar. Like, I guess a lower tier, you can say. That's more blaster resistant. It's not lightsaber resistant.
That's what happened to the pink sauce lady. They purchased the recipe from her for a lump sum, then afterwards she was trying to argue she was broke and should get royalties. Yeah, like, look, there's definitely people out there, they sold their shit. They, you know, again, you should always consult with a lawyer, right? You should know your own value. You should always overball it, right? And you should always have a contract where you get a good amount of royalties. But I mean, like, sometimes people really did get screwed. Like, they really did put in their heart and soul into a project or a game or a TV show or something, and then they got fucking screwed and they do not get paid what they're owed. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So, you know, if that Kamiya tweet is true, right, that translation, I totally understand it. I understand why he would be pissed. He's like, well, all these people went out, you know, for 48 hours or however long it took, right, 72 hours, they shit all over him and Platinum. And then when it was done, you know, they really should be like, listen, I owe them an apology. She's out of her mind. I believed and didn't wait for, you know, any kind of statement, etc., etc. I could feel that. I could get that.
Kamiya tries to really distance himself a lot.
He does not want to be in any controversy, and I don't blame him. He does not want to be in an internet slap fight, for better or worse. So, did you see his comments on the DMC show? He was basically like, yeah, I just don't care about any of this. Stop asking me about it. Someone asked him, how do you, you know, poor Kamiya.
Probably just is finished with this kind of shit.
Yeah, he just doesn't care. He's done with Devil May Cry. Kamiya will probably never work on a Devil May Cry game again. So there's no point in, like, you know, saying, oh, you know, he made this series. Like, yeah, I don't think you should tag Kamiya in it. I don't.
Didn't also make the series too?
Yes, he's still with Capcom.
Oh, he's still with Capcom. I wonder how he feels about it.
Well, he's still with Capcom, so he can't shit on it. And I don't blame him. Like, do you want to get involved in fucking internet slap fights? Because everything you say, depending on how rabid your fan base is just gonna rile them up even fucking more. So honestly, I don't blame half of these, like, big directors and big, you know, producers just making a game and then just fucking dipping and just saying, well, the game's the game and I'm done.
Also kind of hate that you clearly see the issue. You clearly see this shit is not good and you want to keep taking dudes like Adi Shankar.
Whatever, man. Like,
clearly the man's on an ego trip.
Whatever, man. That's just how life is. People fail upward. There's nothing you can do about it. There's no point in even getting mad because he's basically just rage posting. Rage baiting. Sorry, rage baiting. Alright, reload Flareon. I think the Saber's plasma beam naturally repels other beams, so in theory, unless you slash the handle or rim of the emitter, it will just bounce. Yeah, I think you'll just clash. But I mean, the real fact of the matter is you'll just never encounter that scenario because it's Star Wars. They'll just write it so it never happens. The only hit on a Saber I've seen is Maul's blade hit nowhere near where a guard would be. Grievous, when he lost sabers, none of the sabers were cut, his hands were. Yeah, that's usually what happens. You just lose your fucking hand. Probably makes more sense than trying to damage someone's weapon, honestly. It's just disarm them. They can't use the weapon anymore. They're fucked. And maybe if they're lucky, they'll,
and again, most people who wield lightsabers, again, they say, like, you have to be force sensitive, or you have to be trained in Jedi or Sith arts to be able to wield a lightsaber because it's a very dangerous tool you can cut yourself with.
There's no air resistance on that blade. There's no weight to the blade, is what I mean. So you're basically just swinging something really light. Or, sorry, not really light. It has no weight. It's light.
Which is, again, why... So, GameSpot had this sword expert react to Fallen Survivor. And the moment it went to the crossguard, I was like, I think this is very interesting. Because they make it, the way he's holding it implies that the lightsaber has weight, but in the lore of Star Wars, lightsabers are just
yeah, they're not supposed to have weight. They purely just wanted a great sword. It doesn't really make much sense because even Kylo doesn't use his. Now you could argue Kylo maybe made modifications or he has a different type of cross guard thing, but yeah, I think they just really wanted to have a heavy weapon style.
There is a character in Star Wars: The Old Republic for the Knights of the Fallen Empire expansion. And she uses a lightsaber that turns into a staff. Like the hilt actually extends where it's like a staff, like a spear.
The least outrageous Star Wars retcon is Cal's lightsaber being heavy. Yeah, I agree. Least outrageous, though most accepted by the fan base. Whatever. It is what it is.
I mean, look at Pong Crow. His lightsabers were probably heavy.
I want that, what's it called? That umbrella lightsaber. That shit look fucking cool. I don't care. People, I'm not a Star Wars purist to that degree. I thought that shit looked cool. When he levitates and comes down with his fucking lightsaber umbrella, that shit was cool. The Twi'lek that had, the like mini saber, did you know what I'm talking about? That shit was fucking cool. I don't really give a shit, guys. If the Japanese touch an American franchise, they inherently make it better by virtue of not being fucking stupid. So
yes, I've heard a lot of good things about
Visions, that's the name of it. I'm not mad about any of that. It's Japanese. It's automatically better than whatever slop we get in America. Ain't that the sad fucking truth? Yes, and it is Shad the Sword YouTube. They say you would jab with it. Sabers do have a mass about the mass of a candy. Oh well, it's about the mass of a candy bar. That's You're not gonna
That is
break
true.
the bank. Yeah. Like a Snickers or a Fun Bar, or a Kit Kat, or a Hershey's.
I'd like to think of Snickers.
You're not yourself when you... I hate Snickers, man. I hate any chocolate that has nuts in it. Any chocolate bar that has nuts, you've killed the bar for me. If I'm there for chocolate, I'm there to eat it. Because to Japan, their reputation is everything. Even more so than that, I just think they have better ideas than America. Like, don't get me wrong, Lucas is a visionary, but... Yeah, go, sorry.
It's funny. I know Kamiya's finished with, like, all this shit. You know, I always go into, like, who would make a good Star Wars game. And I would say, Kojima. But then...
If you want to lecture every 5 minutes...
I feel like Kamiya and Itano could do it.
I think that we get a Devil May Cry Star Wars game, but they're definitely not going to work on it, and I don't blame them. Working with Disney on IPs is usually like a terrible idea. I mean, the fact that
here, this is you gonna work on this. Do what you want. They're gonna look over your shoulder the whole time
with a shotgun pointed at your head.
Like, oh, I did say do whatever you want, but can you just change that a bit?
That's the only reason why Cal Kestis is a male, is because they didn't want him to take away from Rey.
Thank God.
And so because of that, they were like, all right, do what you want. And then shockingly, they make one of the most interesting and unique stories in Star Wars. But yeah, what was I going to say? I forget. I literally drew a blank. What was I saying before I said that? What were we talking about 30 seconds ago?
That is a good question.
Oh my fucking god. Yeah, now we're doing mechanics right now. Hey, what did I do 30 seconds ago? This is a Final Fantasy fight right now. Hey, you remember that one thing I did 48 seconds ago? What was it? And if you don't know what it is, you're dead. Yeah, most forgiving Final Fantasy mechanic. Amazing.
I think it was about the lightsabers, about the umbrella saber, maybe. I could be wrong.
Something about Japan and their reputation. Yeah, they just have...
Japan, no. Japan, anything touched by Japanese
hands is instantly better. Yeah, oh, I remember. Dude, Kingdom Hearts. Look at how much shit they had to do to put Kingdom Hearts in Smash Bros. There are literally no Disney characters referenced in Kingdom Hearts and Smash. Even Sora's Dive to the Heart, which is like the big stained glass mirror that represents your soul and your closest bonds, even that does not have Donald and Goofy on it. It has like a papau fruit, the raft, and something else instead. Because they didn't want to put Disney characters in, because, copyright. And that's something that 14 said they don't want to do. They don't want to put a Kingdom Hearts raid in. Because, it's Disney characters. The whole thing could shift and now they'd have to remove them. It's purely because Disney is just, again, I'm not going to say they can't defend their copyright, but it's also, they're ZeniMax level strict about it. So.
I am a bit interested. Yeah. Oh,
no, go ahead. I'll read it after.
No, you go ahead first.
If you set this saber to max range, it can get up 2 candy bars. That is the mass of the plasma. How big are these candy bars?
Is it like one of those big ass candy bars they would sell?
Yeah, he's talking about Toblerone, or like a box, the box chocolate or whatever.
Those are outrageously big. That's my problem.
Diabetes. But yeah, I hate nuts in my chocolate. Fuck that. And I can eat nuts. I'm not allergic to them. I just don't. I don't find them tasty.
Funny enough, I used to have an issue with that, but then I started liking some of them. Like, I guess, like, the Fiero Rochelle?
Nope.
The little chocolate balls with I think the chocolate in the middle. I don't think you've ever... They come in the individual gold wrap.
No, sorry, I'm not that fancy.
My mom used to buy them often. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I kind of like these, but like, this is like... I was a kid, and this is like, it's not really the go-to chocolate for me.
Oh, while we're here, because I actually want to start the podcast, so I'll shoot this shit with Max since he's here. The Xbox layoffs. The
Something's
Xbox
happening.
layoffs.
I want to say that something's happening in Microsoft. And the funny enough, our friends and I, we were talking about this at a friend's party, where it's like Microsoft is stepping away from the console market somehow, or like the whole hardware thing now.
Now, what I posit, because okay, the context is that I didn't mean to do just a little while. The context is, for anyone who doesn't know, is that Microsoft they laid off 9,000 employees from their Xbox division.
Was it 900? Holy shit!
I thought it was 9,000. I'm pretty sure. It's a lot. It's brutal. And so what I think, and I've said this before, I think Game Pass isn't profitable, right? I think
How many employees did Microsoft lay off from their console division?
Yeah, please fact check me, please. Actually.
Yep, but yeah, the layoffs were part of a larger company-wide reduction
Okay, it's company-wide,
of about 9,000 employees, roughly 4% of Microsoft's global workforce.
4% of every worker, or 4% of Microsoft's workforce is gone. So basically a bunch of games got canceled. The Perfect Dark remake that they were showing off not even that long ago is now dead, which, you know, led to a whole thing I posted in our Discord about, like, the immersive sim genre is basically fucking dead. It's basically dead again because it's not a huge return on investment, and they keep giving it to these companies that needed to do COD numbers, and unfortunately then they just die again. They have to have layoffs, and it sucks. But I'm not. That's not the rant. The rant that I said is I don't think Game Pass is profitable. I think Microsoft is spending a lot of fucking money blowing smoke up someone's ass, thinking they're going to be the Netflix of gaming, and it has not happened yet. And so because of that, it's not. Yeah, go.
The question, since you know everybody knows, and sorry to cut you off, everybody knows Helldivers 2 is now coming to Xbox.
It is. Oh
the
my
question,
God.
yeah, it's August 26th, the same freaking week as Gears Reloaded and Lost Souls aside, by the way.
Yeah, sorry. Lost Souls and Metal Gear are gonna completely curb stomp that. They're not gonna get another revival of whatever the magic was for Helldivers.
One of the questions that came up was, is Helldivers 2 ever gonna be on Game Pass? The CEO said no.
Yeah, because I think what happens is that they pay you like some. Here's what I think they do. Like, you know how Sony does their timed exclusives. This is pure speculation, by the way. I have nothing to back this up, but I'm going to posit this as a thought experiment. I think that what happens is that Sony gives money to companies as a timed exclusive. They say, hey, Square Enix, you release Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on our console for a year, and 16 and remake, and then, you know, we'll pay you this much money. It turns out they would make more money just selling it themselves on all the consoles. Like, they would PC, Xbox, and PS4, you know, or whatever, PlayStation, day one. So what I think we're finding out now is that the same thing is happening at Microsoft. Microsoft says, hey, you know, game company, we'll pay you this much if you let us put it on Xbox Game Pass. And for some games, it probably gets them exposure, right? Some games, it's probably good for them because they're small. They wouldn't have seen any, you know, real sales anyway. But for bigger games, I think it's fucking them because they could make more money actually selling $70 copies through Amazon and GameStop and Walmart.
It's not sustainable when I could literally go to a subscription service, pay $15 a month, and be like, "Yeah, I'll just play this game. It's on a cloud server, but hey, I can just pay $15 a month to have it."
Yeah, and then I'll play it as much as I want. Whether I beat it or not is up to how much I care, and then I'll forget about it. You know. So like, if every game, let's round it, right? Every game now costs $75 flat. It's not true, but I'm making clean math here so we don't have to round. So if every game costs $75, then think about that for a second. At $15 a month to access your game, I would have to be subbed 6 months to equate this. So therefore, if I'm playing multiple games a month, right, it's not like I'm, you know, Klarnaing the game purchase. If I'm paying $15 a month, I'd have to be subbed 6 months to make it worthwhile. So Microsoft is probably eating that cost unless there's something I'm missing, and there could be something I'm missing here. I like I said, this is pure speculation, but I think Game Pass is not profitable. I think that what's really happening is, you know, 5 games will come out in like a month or two, and people will be subbed for a month or two, and even if they stay subbed for a year, it's not breaking, you know, the cost of all the games that they play in that year. Could be wrong. Don't take this as gospel truth, but I think it has something to do with Game Pass not being profitable. At least that's probably part of it at Microsoft, especially the Xbox division.
Profit when you sell the game used?
No. But when you sell the game used, in order for a game to be marked used, it had to be bought first, which meant that that copy sold its or performed its purpose. Now, technically, you could argue, well, you know, if I buy it used, then technically, like, I'm buying... No, what the point is that the game has still been sold. Technically, me buying a game used, I didn't buy it new. I would have had to buy it new. But I think that's a Pandora's box that they aren't willing to open, and it doesn't really hurt sales that much. Because most of your sales come new anyway. Unless you're a game that, you know, finds a second life after the fact or some shit. But remember, that's why they had online passes, because they knew people would buy games like Battlefield and Medal of Honor and Ghost Recon and all these other multiplayer games. They knew people would buy it, and they wanted to play the multiplayer, and they said, well, you might get the single player, right, but you're not going to get the multiplayer without giving us at least another 15 if you bought it used. Remember that era?
Aside from paying for Xbox Live, or aside from paying for Xbox Live, you were also paying an extra $15 to play certain games online.
Yes, if you bought them used. Nowadays, they don't do that anymore.
That's kind of...
Thank God.
That's kind of...
And remember, like, a lot of these games, man, people just bought new. $60 was a lot, but it's not that much. Like, now when you push 70, 80, right, that's when you're going to start to really see stuff start to break a little bit, because now, like... Random, by the way. Random alpha. You're going to start to see things start to break a little bit more, I think. And I'm not cheering like it's a good thing or it's a great thing. I think it's just the realistic outcome is that stuff is going to start to break a little more.
If it's this weird mix of things, like, you know, the whole Game Pass thing, and if it's just Xbox trying to get away from the hardware or the console market, it's gonna be kind of weird. I mean, people are so used to like seeing a lot like Xbox, you know, with these new Xboxes coming out, and now it's just not.
I don't think they're gonna leave the console business. And if they do, I think that's not going to go well for them. I'm not going to bet on it, but I'm also not, I don't think they're going to do it. Like, yes, consoles don't make a lot of money, but, you know, now you're giving up people buying controllers, people buying accessories, right? Like, like video game consoles don't make a lot of money. This is well known and well documented. You do not make a lot of money selling video game consoles, period. However, it is still a market that I think it's worth having for the presence. Just in general, people like to own their stuff physically. I think that's, you know, not a stretch of the imagination. I think we are one bad week, one bad major game being pulled from people. Like, look at what happened to The Crew, right? The Crew is this racing game. I never played it. I barely knew anything about it. The game doesn't exist. They took your money. They pulled the game. It hasn't even been like 5-10 years. Right? That's why the whole Stop Killing Games initiative is going strong, and that's why you're seeing such a huge pushback from, you know, video game company lobbyists and shit, because, you know, it's not in their interest to keep these games available for you to play whenever. And I do think they should force laws to do that. I do think they need to have a viable, playable version of the single player ready and shipped to go in these games, or like you could at least play a multiplayer match with fucking robots, right? At least at the minimum, let me play with some bots. Customize a bot team and just play some bots, you know, play some bot matches.
Or have people still do private lobby.
The problem with that is that you introduce the potential that someone might find malicious code and hack the game. Like with the Star Wars shit, where they speed up the walkers or whatever. Fortunately, it's just them speeding up the walkers.
On Game Pass.
Yeah, so COD is a huge fucking offender of this, because Call of Duty will still sell like Black Ops 2 and all these other old Call of Duty games for near full price. Never put them on sale because they don't want people going back and playing older games. But if you actually knuckle down and buy it, they're filled with hackers on PC. So that, you know, there you go. You're gonna run the risk of getting hacked. I'm good, bro. No
And
Call of Duty game is worth it.
A game that isn't the most current COD. They had to take it down off of Game Pass because people were because of an RCE exploit, which is like a remote control exploit. Essentially, people can hack your computers and like uninstall the game or just turn it off completely.
Yeah, like imagine that shit. Like, come on. I will be fair to companies. I can't expect them to manage 100 games for the rest of eternity or even really long term. I will be completely fair to companies, right? This is the most you're going to hear me be fair to them. I do think at some point, some of these games, especially if they're not like persistent, you know, like MMOs or whatever, right? Like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy or something. I do think eventually, you know, all good things should come to an end. I do think maybe at the minimum they should, you know, squeeze them into other games, right? You know, like... Oops.
I do feel like with the amount of money COD makes, and I could be wrong.
No, you're right.
I feel as if they can afford better anti-cheat.
Yes, COD does not want to pay for it. It really is that simple. They just don't want to pay for anti-cheat from like Easy or someone else. They just don't. They just want to keep the money. They're greedy. Hey, never let someone tell you they're not fucking greedy. But I do think it is fair that, like, if you buy a game and you know it's only been 5 years and the game gets pulled and you don't get a refund, that should be illegal. That should be fucking illegal. It makes no fucking sense that someone should be able to take your license. And now Ubisoft's EULA says that if they, you know, if you get banned or if they pull a game, you have to destroy all copies. Yeah, no one, it's unenforceable. No one's gonna bust into your house and break your fucking crew discs. This is them just being dicks. It's just purely bad PR for Ubisoft in the first place to even do this. So I don't know what their end goal was with it.
So essentially, if they decide, oh, we're just gonna completely destroy Ghost Recon Future Soldier, you have to get rid of all copies of the game.
I think it's more for online games. So the better example would be Division 2. If they pulled the plug on the Division 2 servers tomorrow, you would have to destroy copies. I think it might also be only if you get banned, so I could be wrong about that. But regardless, the very notion that you're gonna you have to destroy it, it's never gonna happen, bro.
Especially if you have it digitally too.
Yeah, like digitally, well, digitally you're fucked for sure, right? Like you're just fucked regardless. Now, if it is truly just for people who are ban evading, who are like hacking the game, okay, I get that, right? Like this dude is ruining the experience for people, you know, like he's just making a worse environment for everyone. Okay, I get it, right? Like obviously it's still kind of unenforceable, but at the bare minimum, you know, you could say that they're just saying, listen, man, don't fuck with us. Like if you get banned, you're done. Okay, that's one thing. I could see that happening. But, you know, I just, again, it's pretty much every major company is against the Stop Killing Games initiative. Every single one. There are no heroes on that list. Nintendo is on there, Square Enix is on there, Ubisoft is on there, EA is on there. They have mobilized and outright said, no, we will kill these games if we so please. Go fuck yourself. And, you know, we'll see how that works. It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
What's the easiest way to lose your customers?
Not give them what they want, give them the stuff they actively hate, and then enforce policies that are basically like pissing on your face. So Ubisoft is burning books that what does that remind me of? Ponder, 1940s, what am I thinking of? You don't even have to think to World War II bad man Germany. You could literally just think to when what was it, when the US seized gold? They literally went and took people's gold. You had to surrender it.
What's that thing you talked about?
Oh, space-time distortion. Oh shit. Where's it?
A gaming crash has to happen for things to be fixed somehow.
Yeah, it's like a forest fire, right? Like, what happens when a forest fire comes and clears away all the underbrush and all the dead stuff? New stuff can grow again. I think that's unfortunately what's going to have to happen. Is I think that you were going to have a crash or some near crash event to really get people to stop fucking around and get back to making what people want to buy. And my only concern is that it will be a massive overcorrection towards like really porny style games. That was a crazy yell, by the way. And I would prefer that we don't overcorrect. I just want to go back to the way things were in the 2000s, you know? Like, yeah, was it platformer centric? Sure. But you want to know what I liked about it?
Shooters.
We did have shooters. That is true. We did have
that
shooters.
actually had heart in them, you know, that don't remove the identity of what they are, like Call of Duty's been doing with this whole weird ass Beavis and Butthead shit.
Nah, I don't know. I feel two types of ways about that. On one hand, yes, but on the other hand, they are basically a victim of their own success, pretty much.
That Call of Duty execution is stupid.
Yeah, Terminator, a Ninja Turtle summons Cornholio to defeat Terminator is one of the craziest things I've seen, man. It just sucks. Like, I feel bad. Like, imagine you bought the fucking Homelander skin, and now you just can never use it again. They will never get Anthony Starr back in the studio and update his lines for Black Ops 6. Like, that sucks, man. Because that Homelander skin, I used to watch my friend play Call of Duty. That shit was so funny. I need milk. That scene where he drinks milk in The Boys is so funny, bro. You would think he was drinking like sacred manna from heaven, bro. But you know what's sad? I get it, Homelander. I get it. I understand. Listen, he's better than what was it? An Ubisoft? Was it an Ubisoft employee or it was some employee that was smearing breast milk?
It was an Activision employee.
Right. Smearing some
Bobby
poor
Kotick
pregnantly.
Knew about this shit.
Did nothing.
By the way.
Did nothing until it came out because you know Activision.
Hey, I have a lot of money. I can make something happen to you, you know.
Bobby Kotick, the next Jeffrey Epstein. By the way, shout out to Jeffrey Epstein, literally self-deleting himself right before the state was going to acquit him for lack of evidence.
Did you see what Sasha Grey posted about
yes,
that? Yes,
I did. Why is Sasha Grey more based than the fucking feds? That's crazy, bro. Sasha Grey is more funny now.
Like, Sasha Grey put that up and somebody commented. Yeah, she's been ran through, opinion discarded, by the way.
She's right, though. I don't care if she's been ran through. I don't care if she's a prawn star. No one's saying you have to fuck her or date her. I'm just saying she's right.
She tried to get away from that, by the way.
Yeah, and I don't blame her. The biggest mistake was that she did it in the first place, but, you know, people gotta, you live and you learn. There's tons of things I used to do that I regret or whatever, you know, I'd say, you know, don't do it. Point is, she's right. So shout out to him for, that's why you never give up. You never KYS. Jiggle physics. I mean, yeah, why not?
Listen, say what you will, but because of all this, we have to make games super inclusive for everybody. You know, those people don't care.
So we're gonna put jiggle physics on cocks now. Thank you, Max.
Well, no, we have games like Stellar Blade. I was about to say Stolar Blade, but
Stolar Blade, yeah, the black version of it.
Yo,
like that museum game? Yo, that museum game is doom, bro.
Like Stellar Blade, you know, complete gooner game, but guess what? Has a story. Actually has good.
Yeah,
good
like
combat mechanics.
I'm not saying Stellar Blade is gonna be one of those like pure goon games or whatever, right? I just don't want to go any further than that personally, but that's just me.
And then, you know, they had collabs, and then the collabs with like Nier Automata, and I remember when you saw that ad for Nier Automata and First Descendant.
Yeah, and 2B isn't like, everything, bro.
I've seen these people fight. I've seen 2B, 9S, and A2 fight.
They're just in
more
everything,
things than they
bro.
do in their own games.
Like this,
somehow.
yeah, like it's like fuck. What's a good example? Something that's transcend. It's like Persona transcending out of Shin Megami Tensei and becoming its own fucking IP, right? Like Persona is bigger than its original IP. You know what I mean? Like it's so wild to me. Even just watching it, it's like, oh my god, here we go again. Okay, let me actually lock in a little bit just in case a shiny shows up. Ridiculous, dude. A shield on now? Gee, thanks. Actually, you know what? We should catch it.
A lot of these games are just... Look at Spider-Man, Marvel
He's
Spider-Man
glitched.
2. Good game. Glitchy as hell though. Well, not super glitchy.
I can't target him. Look at this shit. I can't target him. Get up. Oh, fuck this. I don't even need this stupid Pokemon. I can't. I'm still burning. I'm still burning. Dude, is this... This is not for real right now. Do you see how good the... Okay, I didn't Rowlet. Why is Rowlet, like, just the best starter? Seriously. Fuck! Nobody wants you, dude! No one loves you. Except me. Don't make me... I always kill the things I love. I think I told Max this the other day, too. I always kill
Tell
the
me
things
what
I
you love
love.
the most.
So I could have the pleasure of gooning away to it. Yo, that's actually another character that has completely transcended his original fucking media. Oh, I'm Sephiroth. Huge katana, edgelord, meteor.
I remember the debate that came through because of Death Battle having the Sephiroth versus Virgil video, and people were just like, that doesn't make any sense. Virgil would literally beat Sephiroth.
I'm not even a Final Fantasy VII fanboy. I don't think Virgil beats Sephiroth, guys. I'm sorry to say. Sephiroth is just on some otherworldly level of power. And I'm not even trying to, like, gas him up. You know me, I'm the first person to say 7 is overhyped. I do not think that he beats... I do not think that Virgil beats Sephiroth. I'm sorry. I know we're all DMC fans, and we all love Katana Man, and we all love him, and we you know, Photoshop Monster Energy on his fucking whatever.
My king. I would have his children if I could.
You are... That is one of the worst statements you've ever uttered in my presence, and that's a hard bar to pass.
That's my king, bro. But moving on, though.
Yeah,
Again,
I'm sorry. I think that Sephiroth wins.
it was kind of just...
I don't even think we have to go into Sephiroth's, like, higher forms, like Bizarro and Safer. Like, obviously, the thing about death battles is that everyone will have, like, their mental headcanon on how their preferred hero or character is going to win it. So you're never going to have, like, an honest-to-God power scaling. Ever. It's just never going to happen. You're never going to have a fair fucking power scaling. We're basically just asking, what are you a bigger fan of?
Who's that woman always helping Bayonetta out?
Jean?
Yeah, as they had a... they had John... They had Bayonetta and John versus Dante and Trish.
Well, we already know because Kamiya or someone who worked on Bayonetta was like, yeah, Dante would lose to Bayonetta. People weren't happy with that either, but it wasn't like it wasn't broadcast everywhere, so people don't really know about it. You ever seen that Volvo concept car made by a woman-only team? No, I didn't.
Uh-oh.
Is it the what is it? Itty bitty titties in a bob? I love how that became a reverse meme.
Oh my god.
I love that.
Titties and Bob.
Wait, we're not done with Glaceon? Oh, I have to evolve 3. Whoops. I should have caught those Eevees. I'm an idiot. I totally made my life worse. I have to go catch Eevees now. Would you believe this bullshit? I totally fucked up. We have EVs. I just don't want to use all my EVs on this. Spray, you could lose weight extra fast throwing gallons away to anime girls. No, I don't work like that, sorry. Hex Maniac has peaked. Those look heavy, man. May I help your back by holding them vibes? Yeah, I'll become Homelander. That's what I was saying the other day to this dude. I was like, you know, marriage really should just be you will goon to one person for the rest of your life. Like, when you really think about it. Marriage really is just, I promise I'll goon to you for the rest of my life. And then ideally she says it back. And means it. It's never gonna happen, so don't get your hopes up. We live in the modern era. You're doomed by default. Enjoy. Can I get a shiny Gyarados or Magikarp, please? I kind of want one just because. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a Gen 2 boy. I want a shiny Alpha Magikarp or a shiny Alpha Gyarados. Unless you get a cosplayer wife who lives vicariously through the characters you like. I mean... Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. He's not wrong.
The layoff impacted various teams and subsidiaries within the gaming division, including King, makers of Candy Crush, Dynamax, Raven Software, Sledgehammer Games, Halo Studios, and Turn 10 Studios. With some projects like Everwild and Perfect Dark being canceled.
Unbelievable, man. It's so fucking bullshit. But don't worry, we'll get a billion more slop games that they know are gonna fucking fumble and fail. But we'll never get Deus Ex 3 and fucking whatever. Like, dude, like, the things I want to say are TOS, so I can't. We're gonna be done with this stream in a few minutes.
Phil Spencer stated the cuts were intended to position the gaming business for enduring success.
No. You want to know what's fucking stupid? You want to know what's fucking stupid? Phil Spencer is a fucking dipshit. And the reason why I say that is because this dude was touted as like the smartest, most insane, down to earth like CEO that Xbox could ever ask for. Here we are a decade or almost a decade later. What's gone right at Xbox? What's happened? Do we have even half the games that we were promised when Phil Spencer? Every time this dude comes out, something else is getting canceled behind the scenes in between fucking directs and Xbox showcases. They had this huge ass Xbox showcase that I'm like, damn, you know, shit's looking pretty good, man. Clockwork Revolution, and they got Perfect Dark. Now you find out that like half the games got shit canned when you weren't looking. Like, what the fuck are they even doing, man? And he's at the head, so I gotta be like, what the fuck?
Remember when Scalebound was going to be a thing?
That's another one. I don't know if he was the head of Xbox then, though. That might have been Don Matrick. Again, more fucking idiots ruining the Xbox brand because instead of focusing on just pumping out as many games as possible to a wide variety of genres and audiences, oh, well, here's... dude, fuck me. I hate these people. Making video games should be the easiest market to become a billionaire in. Like, seriously. Hey, what do you guys want? Literally just make a fucking Twitter poll, dude. You want to know how crazy it is? Like, right now, I have 3 of my most common viewers on the stream. How would you like it if I just said, hey guys, what's one game you want to see me play tomorrow? No questions asked. And then guess what? They vote, right? I'll make a fucking vote or whatever, and then I'll do it. Now imagine having like 1,000,000 times as many fans. 10 million times as many fans who will answer you at the drop of a fucking hat. Okay, I can't play Honey Pop. That's an H game. Okay, so see there, that's the dude that goes into Microsoft and is like, I want porn on my Xbox. That's the guy who comes into Microsoft and says some crazy shit that you know they can't do. Yeah. Anyway, but you know, like a serious game, like instead of Honey Pop, what if he was like, I'm not playing Nekopara. Like a game you know I would play. That's like asking Call of Duty devs to make an RTS.
These are shit to suit Larry?
Yeah, like let's see the, you know, yeah, no. It'll be like, you guys want to see Dark Souls or what's another game? Metroid 4 or, you know, some other game like that. That's what it would be. Lollipop Chainsaw? I did play that a long time ago. But yeah, like, you know, you could go up to them, hey guys, you know what studios, Metroid Other M, fuck it, I would even play that. I'd bitch the whole time, but I mean, oh god, now they're just, you know what, my fans want to torture me, I take it back, fuck that. Never mind, this is why I do what I want. They're gonna be over here like, yeah, don't you want to play Other M?
You know that picture with the, you know that meme with the soldier who looks traumatized as hell?
Yeah, that's me right now, looking through this list of fucking games that either are TOS or
and then
awful.
You're looking back, you know, you're thinking about the Other M shit where people are like, oh, I think Adam and Samus could have been a shit.
Fuck
You're
you.
just sitting there like, oh,
fuck you for reminding
God.
me. Fuck you. Awful fucking game, bro.
I mean, who's worse, the people who were shipping that or the people that were shipping Elizabeth and the dude from BioShock?
I have never seen people ship Elizabeth and Booker. The things that I see people ship Elizabeth with are straight hentai and not with humans. It's very this dude was like, please don't sexualize Elizabeth. I look at her like a daughter, and the internet had the look at the camera moment.
So anyway, back to my groaning. Who
let the dogs out? Am I right, guys?
Yikes!
Yeah.
Somebody used that.
That's so fucking funny. I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh. That's so fucking funny. Samus is a Chozo hybrid. She's gonna be fertile forever, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. She's not a normal human. What are we doing again? Alright. Umbreon is next. And then we need an Espeon. I don't know if we have one. We probably do. Okay.
Of course. Why am I trying to go close range with a guy against a guy with a sniper rifle? What am I thinking? Good old Halo.
How much is that in bird years? Well, considering the Chozo were masters of nature and masters of, you know, their environment, I think she'll be all right. Let's put it like that. Baby Doll Eyes, Psychic, Baby Doll Eyes, and Dark Pulse, even though I think Umbreon is a physical attacker? Could be wrong about that. Probably wrong about that.
Thank you for dealing with that cloak, Spartan.
You know what Umbreon is called in Japanese? Who here? Okay. Super test. Don't look it up. Hand to God, gun to the back of your head for the people watching in chat. What is Umbreon called in Japanese? You'll never guess. You'll never guess it. No, what does it translate to is what I should say. Oop, other way. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Umbreon's name in Japanese translates to Blackie. I'm not kidding. This is one of those things that I read once and I was like, there's no fucking way. 5 minutes later, I was like, oh, they fucking actually did, huh? Look at this. I literally roll over her. You let your guard down. I love this so much. Yeah, they didn't care. It's Japanese. Why the fuck are they gonna care? Dude, that one nice lady who said Jinx looks like a black woman, oh my god, good thing that happened before the internet. Could you imagine the Penguin Zero video about that, the Moist Critical video? Just everyone dogpiling her. Like, why do you wake up in the morning and think you look like this? Good lord. Yeah, I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is look at Pokemon to see what I look like in a children's fucking cartoon. Remember when they thought that fucking Harry Potter and Pokemon was gonna end society? Good times. You know that if you took an Umbreon online and called it Blackie in English, they'd probably ban you. I wonder if someone does that. They probably wouldn't. It's Nintendo. They don't care that much. Maybe. You're gonna gamble with that one.
Damn it.
All right, we'll go to 11:30 for anyone who's watching. Don't worry, we'll finish Glaceon by then. We're not gonna go all the way to 12 because I want to play at least a little bit of Star Wars tonight. Just a smidge. In fact, Max, if you want to ask these dudes what's up, if they want to play, then I will get off sooner. I have enough EVs to just fucking evolve them all real quick. I'm just killing a little bit of time at the moment. I'm gonna finish this Yanma event, and then I'm gonna try to grind out 2 EVs, but definitely by 11:30 we'll be out of here. We actually finished the evolutions really quickly today, so this worked out pretty nicely, all things considered. And then next week we will finish off the evolutions, which will finish off all non-legendaries in this game, guys. So for those of you who've sat through how many fucking events? What is this, stream number 143? Stream 144. I'm going to ban you for that comment, Narg. Jesus fucking Christ. Stream 144 will be the finale of non-legendary, so let me not get your hopes up. I'm gonna ban you for that shit. I get so sick of that, man. You know what it's like being a guy who picked Cyndaquil and Hisui and Typhlosion after the fucking leaks, bro? Do you know what my life has been? Like, nothing changed. I hate it. Why would someone even write this? Hey, it's a big, I don't even know what Cyndaquil's supposed to be. It's a fucking hedgehog with flames and it has mystic powers and it leads people astray. Whoever writes the Pokedex is definitely writing like some actual hentai, like 18 plus shit sometimes. And then we're in a game that's like the villains are so stupid they leave doors unlocked and are surprised when you walk through them. I'll never forget that moment from Shadows of Almia. The whatever you know the Ranger games, right? The Snag'em team or whatever from Shadows of Almia literally walks through a door and then they're like, "Wait a minute, you followed us through the door." Like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. I hated those games. The only reason anyone played those games was to get the free Manaphy egg and the Darkrai. Nobody actually likes those games.
Rent a Girlfriend having a higher score than My Dress Up Darling is insane.
Look, I don't watch any of these weird gooner anime. Even Healer Hero wasn't even worth gooning to. Healer Hero is just funny in its first episode or two. Like, really, they just make shock episodes just so, like, I think they really make episodes just to get American Twitter just fucking losing their shit. Like, oh my god, can you believe what they put in this anime? Yeah, it's basically 50 Shades of Grey, just a little bit further beyond. But don't worry, 50 Shades of Grey was okay, because we think Christian Grey's hot. If Christian Grey looked like me, or, you know, some Poindexter or whatever, remember, it's the HR meme. It literally is the HR meme. Looking good, Susan. Oh, how sweet. Oh, looking good, Susan. Hello, human resources? The ugly man is talking to me. What, figure adaptation? Nah, the Xenoblade figures are crazy. I'll give them that. Look, I know that people are over here buying mason jars to shove amiibos and small figures into. Oh! It's time, boys. It's fucking lit. Let's fucking go. And we get a shiny this stream? A random shiny. This is a 1 in 5 whatever. Fuck yeah, dude. What do we name this shiny? I have no idea. That's why I'm playing this game for the rest of my life, by the way. Even if it's the most basic fucking game possible, we're playing this game forever, dude. Okay, what was I doing again? We're not picking up the bags, by the way. We don't have time. Let's just go try to farm out some EVs real fast. So we could, you know, do that. We need to start nicknaming all these Pokemon, by the way. I'm really hyped for ZA. I really am. I think ZA is going to be really fun. So, for whatever it's worth, guys, I look forward to seeing you all on the ZA streams as the Arceus streams wind to a close. Ooh, a Gardevoir event. Oh, fuck, it's a Gardevoir event. Max, you know the lore about Gardevoir?
No.
You know how Gardevoir is the feelings Pokemon? Max doesn't play Pokemon, really. You know how Gardevoir is the feelings Pokemon?
The weird shit people have been putting up with Gardevoir girlfriend and all that.
Oh, he gets it. Yeah, so Gardevoir's Pokedex is like, it has a very strong emotional bond with its trainer. And then that was actually part of the plot line for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue and Red Rescue Team. So yeah, what do you think the hentai artist did? Yeah, it's pretty bad. Pokemon hentai is on a fucking wild level, bro. It's an actual jump scare. Yo, if we get a shiny Gardevoir, that's gonna be like the treasure of the fucking playthrough. Anytime shiny Ralts shows up, that's actually, I'm gonna go back to farming shinies in BDSP using the Poke Radar. That I probably won't do on stream because Lord knows that would bore the fuck out of you guys, and I'm not doing that. Maybe if BD or SP goes on sale, I will buy it again used for the Switch 2. Maybe I'll do that. I'm not really like super big on that. I really don't want to have to get the Poke Radar, so I'll probably not do that, but I would like to, theoretically, because I will be able to Poke Radar much easier. Spray, you better do something stupid, super stupid, very fast in the next game so I can make fun of you. Oh, it's a Pokemon game. Don't worry. Something bad will happen. We'll get a shiny on our first outing like we did on this game. You could go watch part 1. As soon as we got to Obsidian, a shiny Bidoof spawned. And I didn't even know. I was like, is that a shiny? It played a special effect and everything. You all know how the shiny thing works. Even Max knows, because it's a sound effect in this server. Max knows. Where is it?
It's too late. What?
That's gotta go too, by the way. Where's the shiny sound effect? What the fuck? I have no idea where I put it. Here it is. Game Freak is at fault for enticing us with Mega Lopunny. Oh my fucking god. I'm never, every time I stream a Pokemon stream, I'm banning Narg until the stream's over. I'm silencing him. This is awful. I'm kidding. I wonder if there's any like female hentai artists. There has to be, right? Wonder what they draw. Because I feel like it's mostly just men. There's gotta be. And the sad part is I like Mega Lopunny because it has Scrappy, which makes it so interesting to use because it becomes a severe counter to ghost types. They draw equal or worse stuff than men. We need to interview one. We need to get one on the podcast. I'm gonna no jumper that shit. So how long have you been drawing Pokemon hentai? You know, like 10 years? It's gonna be a crazy interview. I'm not an interviewer though. Sadly, I'm really not an interviewer. Very nice. I remember dodging that similarly. You don't have to do much to dodge it. I didn't know they could run away. That's why I want to prep the sticky globs. Because if a shiny escapes from me, I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
My god, this Uma Musume Derby game has just taken over.
You want to know what's one of the most vile anime moments in history? Or anime-related moments? When, who's the guy who makes My Hero Horikoshi or whatever? Yeah, when he drew the fucking invisible girl. Yeah, that was not very cash money of him. That was pretty that's a pretty no. You know what also is kind of weird, and I understand the arguments made for it. The people are like, oh, Kamoshida is so bad in Persona 5, but man, I love when the female teacher rizzes me up. That might be one of the most like insane pairings. I know the culture's different. I understand the culture is different between America and Japan, but there's a lot of people on both sides that go to war over that. You know, if I was the Persona people, I wouldn't get involved in that culture war either, because that to me is a black hole, bro.
Instead, we have the guy in the subway who shoulder checks people on the train tracks. By the way,
Listen, everyone knows that the best waifus in Persona. Well, not everyone, because not everyone is as enlightened as me. Everyone knows Futaba is the best waifu in 5, easily, easily. Haru is a close second, and then I don't really remember most of the other ones. I think the chess player was all right.
Makoto and
Nah, I don't like Anne.
the teacher.
The teacher's
doctor.
okay, but like, no, I didn't like the doctor. Wasn't there the weird chick with the thing on her head? The lay? I forget what she was. Nah, I like Futaba. Futaba seems funny, fun. I know her hair's dyed. That's not her real hair color, obviously. But, you know, whatever, I'll take it. Haru's okay as well. I don't have any problems with Haru. I just think that Futaba has a better story. And then in Persona 4, see, here's how I've evolved as a male, right? When I was playing Persona 4 ages ago, I was like, oh, you know, Yukiko is definitely the best waifu for sure. And then nowadays, I don't think worse of Yukiko. I just think that Rise is probably better. But I don't really remember all the other romance options in that. And then what was the other one? Do we want to do a Gibble event? What time is it? 20? I kind of want to... Let's see. Okay, when we land here, let's see how many EVs we have, because I might just evolve them here and just be done. Persona 3, it's the... what's the lady's name? Mitsuru? The older C's member? Something like that. 3 houses you could have a whole dissertation on. Seriously, you could have a whole ass stream discussing the waifu potential of 3 houses characters. I will replay Golden Deer at some point. I know I keep saying that, but like I know if I start playing it, I'm gonna be burnt out because that game really burns me out like really quickly. Like it is definitely a huge undertaking to get into. So, okay. All right, we should have, hold on, sorry, whoops, talk to him again. I want to see my Pokemon. Okay, Eevee. Okay, we have tons of Eevees. They're not alphas, right? Okay, well, fuck. Yo, Shiny, let's fucking go. Shiny. Do we have like 3 shiny Eevees in this game? 4 shiny Eevees. Here we go. Here's all the alpha EVs. Okay, we have a handful. We need to evolve 2, so we'll evolve this one in the interest of time. Or I could clear out this event and we just run a little bit later, right? No, hopefully no one gets mad at me. Camilla is okay. I know people like Camilla because she has big boobs, but her actual story is really good. Like, for real. I think that's what really cements Camilla as being like a really, really good relationship option in Fates. Like, obviously I've ranted with this about I've ranted about Fates before, where like you can't waifu Azura and get all the children. It's the fucking worst. Like, I really hate that. I wish the children would just spawn in. That's like the worst part of Fates, is if you waifu the children's. If you waifu Azura as a male Corrin, which is the only waifu, or the only romance you could have with her, you cannot get all the children because someone will not, there's not enough women. And because the children are determined by their father in that game, as opposed to the mother in Awakening, you will be unable to get all the children because one of the males will not have enough like, there's not enough relationships that you could really spin it around. Because some of these characters just, you know, whatever. Fates is a whole game and a half. Waifu the children's? Did I say that? If you waifu the wives, you can't get all the children. There's not enough female characters in the game with enough male relationships that are not the male character. So therefore, Azura has to marry someone else. And it's cool because there's some nice interactions between Kana and Shigure, but... And you just can't do it. It makes me really sad, actually. So on my first playthrough, I didn't get Arthur's son. Sucks. No, it's not deficient gonads. There's literally not enough women in the game with enough relationships. That's why in 3 houses I had a whole fucking Excel spreadsheet. I was like, oh no, we're not doing this again. We're waifuing everyone to everyone, and we're gonna have the Golden Deer playthrough probably next summer. Tentative. Please understand. Someone remind me in like 12 months. Set a reminder in your phone. Spray promised that he would play Golden Deer 100%. And specifically cite that I said this in the Arceus playthrough. That's how you know I'll never forget it. Because I'll be like, yeah, did I say it during an Arceus rant? Yeah, it definitely happened then, didn't it? It totally did. See, if you have female corn, you actually have too many characters. It sucks. You either have too many women or not enough women. It's awful. By the way, the reason why I'm resetting here is because you can't get an Eevee event from a massive mass outbreak, and massive masses also cover up normal spawns. So I'm gonna leave and come back. We
Just
still
remember, whenever you're at the doctor, hope you get a doctor like House MD.
Yes, because House, I don't know, man. Actually, every episode of House is struggle. I will personally have AI create an entire final 3 seasons of House, where it's just him and Cuddy learning how to figure out their relationship, and no one can stop me.
Hey Foreman, why don't you go break into his house? Are you telling me to go break into the house because I'm black?
No, it's because you're a criminal. That shit was a crazy slam. Man, we'll never get a show like that again. Never. That show really towed the line of what was acceptable, even in 2010. 2010 American TV show, like post 9/11 Iraq war era TV shows in America need to be studied and preserved for the rest of eternity because they are so fucking good at what they do.
It's funny because I was watching you ever seen like 2.5 Men in Passing, that show Charlie Sheen was on?
I have not. All I know is that like Charlie Sheen had his whole thing and he basically got the show canned or something. Like they had to,
yeah, he had to leave, and eventually, because like the show's not the show without Charlie Sheen, because Ashton Kutcher eventually got on, and it still,
and he did his best. He did his best from what I've heard. He did everything he could to try and salvage it, because there's not, like it was just a dynamic. The little kid grew up, he became an adult, right? So now the dynamic is a little bit changed anyway. Like it's just a show that, I don't know. I just know they dropped pianos. Apparently they hashed out their differences behind the scenes, but it cost them a lot of money at the time because it was like, dude, you're the star of the show. If you don't show up, there is no show. You've kind of fucked us.
Apparently the guy who played Alan, Charlie's brother, really thought they were like friends, like outside the show. And like when he heard about what happened with Charlie.
Devin said the name, Cal Penn, kid's name. Kuttner was the guy played by Kumar. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So John Cryer goes on a talk show and he talks about like, oh, what can I say to him? Can I like say I hope everything's okay? Can I put out a statement? And then like I think somebody on the show, one of the producers said, yeah, hold on. He said behind your back that you're a troll, traitor, and turncoat. And I was like, what? Wow.
The fact that high school tier drama sank one of the top rated, most beloved, I shouldn't say IP, but most beloved American sitcoms of all time just proves that nothing is untouchable in this world. You will absolutely get one-shotted and smoked by some dude on a super high, bro. Some guy is gonna come out on a super high. Oh, hold on, my bag is full. He's gonna come out on a super high being like, yeah, man, and listen, man, if Charlie Sheen wants to have copious amounts of crazy unprotected sex, like, he can do it. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you he can't. But what I will say is, not even to quote the mafia, but like, don't fuck with the money. Like, a lot of people's jobs ride on this.
He had a downfall. I guess it was more or less like mental health issues and all that.
Look, I'm totally down for that. I'm or not down for mental health, Jesus. I'm totally fine with him having lots of stuff and, you know, all his problems going on and whatever, right? Like, it's just, it sucks that, like, people really like this show and it got completely fucked over. I want an episode where the Black Dagger becomes white due to a Coca-Cola accident. No, I do not want him to turn into fucking... Omar Epps is a great actor. For what it's worth, Omar Epps... What was that one movie where he played with Tupac? I forget the name of it. That was also, I saw a clip of it. I was like, yo, I might actually watch this. Omar Epps is good at what he does. I respect the man a lot. He is a very good actor, for sure. Yeah, I want Kuttner to come back, but nah, that's not gonna happen. He came back in a vision, I think, in one episode. I think it was the finale. They brought him back as like a, well, I won't spoil it, but you know, they brought him back, and it was kind of cool. I will AI create the last 3 seasons of House. And I'm not saying that that relationship is going to be peak, bro. I'm going to make it rocky as shit because I know how House is.
What is it? Just ends with him crashing a car through somebody's house or something like that?
Well, yeah, without getting into super details. That's like one of the biggest things in the show, dude. Man, I love that show. American TV will never be the same, bro. John Cryer, like, he was in Hot Shots? You mean Hot Ones? What's Hot Shots? Oh, is that a movie? I don't know. I've never heard of this before.
John Cryer was also playing Lex Luthor in Supergirl.
Oh, Lord. It's the fucking CW, dude. Man, I wish we got that Powerpuff Girls TV show. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I want to laugh.
Blossom became a Catwoman.
Bubbles is a prostitute. Come on, man. Y'all know that shit would have been hilarious. Stop lashing out. Just let it happen. Who cares? And then mock them once it's out, so that way we could have infinite free content, dude. I want to make fun of that shit. You know how many clips I would have pulled from that fucking show? Do you have any fucking idea how many clips I would have pulled? I would be playing them on the soundboard every goddamn day. I'll never be able to now.
Hot Shots is a spoof of Top Gun. Or a parody.
I will never be able to play infinite amounts of clips on the soundboard. All right, now let's make them run. Let's prep the sticky globs. I like how you can see this Bidoof is really small. Let's save the game before a Bidoof spawns. That's actually whatever. And we'll look for one more Eevee and then we'll move and we'll be done for the day. This might be the only, like... Oh! Can you fucking not, dude? That's terrifying, by the way. Well, no one said Bidoofs were smart, guys. Literally.
They featured House on an episode of Family Guy.
What? No fucking way. Man.
And Lois's father was in the hospital.
Oh, he's dead.
And then somebody, a male nurse came in and said, hey, wait, before you do anything, you're gonna need this. It's a rule book. And House goes, get this thing out of my face, and throws it outside the window.
Most House reaction ever. House literally fucking up his life, flushing down like a toilet or a ticket or something.
Peter's just like, how you gonna play by the rules if you don't have the rule? Oh.
House is such fucking peak, man.
House is just like, I'm gonna be very unorthodox, Mr. Griffin. Just punches Lois's father while he's knocked out.
Yo, House is, dude, it's a generational show. It's like Twilight Zone in its peak. It's like you can never replace it. You will never reach that peak of Twilight Zone ever again, bro.
I guess it's not because of House. I've gotten into watching like doctor videos react to like injuries on certain shows. And I watched Dr. Mike react to Jackass. Boy, oh boy.
Oops, wrong teleport.
There was this one episode of Jackass where Johnny Knoxville told one of his co-stars, yeah, we're gonna get a lightweight boxer to punch you in the balls as hard as he can while you're wearing a cup. Guess what he got?
A pop testicle?
No, he didn't tell him it was a heavyweight boxer.
I mean, I don't care if it's a lightweight. You know, like, what the fuck? But that's just like American core. I guess I'm gonna Christian this new genre of both music, media, and everything. Remember when Halo and Final Fantasy got a shout out on 2.5 Men? No, this is brand news to me. I know Family Guy showed MW2 back in the day, and that I've seen. Not Halo and Final fucking Fantasy.
Who's the guy that keeps fucking dying? Who's the idiot that keeps dying? Peter played Modern Warfare 2 and doesn't know what he's doing.
Dude, can we introduce the masses to World of Warcraft so they could fucking learn how the game plays instead of constantly, like, yapping about it? It's so crazy that
Blizzard will actually improve the graphics.
No, fuck the graph. Who gives a shit about graphics, bro? Like, go, I need graphics to play a game. No, you don't. You motherfuckers don't play without the graphics anyway. You know, for a game that everyone insists they know how to play, it's kind of crazy that nobody knows how to play World of Warcraft. Like, hate Pirate Software as much as you want for all the other shit he does. The fact that people think he was in the wrong in Dire Maul, you're just a fucking idiot. And, your parents should probably get a refund.
Wow.
Not a Catfire. Holy shit, dude. Bill Clinton once quoted a Guilty Gear slogan from Mad Magazine. What, did it have something to do with a character named Monica? Like, folks, it's a 20-year-old fucking game. Seriously. People are like, how do you remember almost all the Pokemon? Oh, we got an Eevee. Here we go. How do you remember almost all the Pokemon names? Well, I mean, I care more than the average person. That's a starter. I couldn't tell you every Pokemon's number in the dex, though. I'm not that much of a Pokemon head. I'll be completely honest. I can't do that. However, I do kind of remember most Pokemon that are like, especially the earlier the gen, the more I can remember the Pokemon's name and types. And sometimes the move pools. Very nice. Okay. All right, now we go back. Is that another one? No, it's a Wurmple. All right, we go back. We evolve this, etc. It was about violence in video game. Oh my god, dude. America in the 90s and their violence, video games caused violence fetish while they flooded the inner cities with crack is one of the most insane, hypocritical moments in American history ever. Probably doesn't rank on the top 100, but I will pretend like it does. Dude, the video games will corrupt our youth. Meanwhile, all the food is insanely unhealthy and fatty. The school systems are collapsing. The drugs are everywhere. And will rob them of their future. They'll never own a house. They'll never want to have families. They'll just want to nurse kittens until the kittens eat their face when they die one day. Yeah, you know, it's the video games that ruined American youth, guys. We'll introduce Tinder and Instagram and all this other stuff. We'll completely fuck over the dating market 10,000%. We'll literally ruin it for everyone for the rest of eternity. Oh, it's the video games, though, guys. The dopamine high burns character names into my brain. Dude, have you ever seen how pissed I get playing Pokemon? You should have seen me. I encountered the glitch with Cherim where it changes form. It was an actual glitch in this game that if Cherim changes form in combat because it's sunny outside, it cannot be caught because the game thinks you're out of combat, but the Pokemon is alerted to you, which is an actual, it's completely fucked. I ran into that glitch by accident. I seriously was yelling at the fucking game. I was losing my goddamn mind. I admit I raged out. Sometimes I get too angry. Nowadays, I think I'm a little more chill. Nowadays, I don't, it's whatever. It is what it is. Like, that Violet playthrough, if Ash wasn't there, just, like, co-commentating and, you know, just shooting the shit. Hold up. We have a red alert, folks. We have a red alert. This will be the last thing I do on this game, I swear. All right. First thing we're going to do, Turtwig. We're looking for a shiny, boys. And then we're going to do Dusclops. I think Turtwig flees from you, so I think we're in luck. I don't have to do much effort and much work because I'm a lazy piece of shit and I don't like doing it. We already got a shiny of the stream, but you know, like the American way, I am greedy as shit. I'm also a streamer, by the way, so it kind of goes hand in hand. Y'all know how that is. And if you don't, well, you know. We're gonna get a streamer house, Max.
Okay.
That would be so fucking funny. That would be peak. That would actually be peak content. Hey, Max, what are we playing today? Remember, it's a 1 in 128 chance that we get a shiny from this event. All individual rolls. It is theoretically possible to get multiple shinies from a single outbreak. It's just incredibly rare, as you can imagine. All right. So there was no shiny Turtwig. We'll look at Dusclops, and that's the end of the stream because I don't really care about Will I look at Happiny off stream? Am I that lazy? Nah, it'll only take me like 3 minutes. All right. So if anyone has any final words, start getting them in. We have about 5 minutes left. I don't know if these dudes responded. Did they respond, Max?
Yeah.
Okay. You can merge up. You can tell them I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Yep.
All right. All right. Thank you, Max.
No problem.
Yeah, so last 5 minutes, everyone, and then we'll be on our way out of here. You guys can go chill. Tomorrow we will play Avatar. So I don't plan to see Narg there. I think it'll just be me and Viv because, you know, it's Avatar. And then Thursday is Xenoblade. So I don't expect to see Narg there again because it has L in it. And then Friday is Oblivion, and that's probably when Narg will show up because it's Oblivion. And we're just going to be punching stuff. And then Saturday will be Assassin's Creed Shadows, the marathon. The man, the myth, the legend will finally play it. You will be entertained, or I will die trying. There is no in between. It will be one or the other. I'm excited. You're excited. Get very excited. Get ready for it. Imagine we do get a shiny Happiny. Give it a good nickname if we do. I actually will. We'll never evolve it, just like Brock. No. Sadly, no shiny Happiny. Oh well. It's fine. Alright. And now the last Pokemon we'll look through is Dusclops. We will have to kill the Dusclopses to progress through the event. Unfortunately, there's no way to make Pokemon disappear who are aggressive like this without defeating them, but it is what it is. Brock went back to he never lived in a rural Japanese village. Pewter City is way bigger in the anime than it is in the games. That's the thing, we've never really had cities to scale in the Pokemon universe. Brock went back to Pewter Gym. That's when I really kind of stopped caring about Ash's journey, because I'm like, well, now we don't even have Brock. We just have all these weird, like, other gym leaders. That was fucked for me as a kid. I was like, why? Why did you get rid of Brock, man? Like, that's the OG. Like even, like, I get it. Maybe they didn't want to have Misty for 20 seasons of Pokemon. But, you know, like, at least Brock, man. Like, how are you not going to have Brock around? That shit was heartbreaking, man. I was like, why the fuck would I care about any of these other characters? They're just gonna be gone, right? Like, nothing's, like, you're not gonna keep them around. So I was like, well, what the fuck? I don't care about, we'll just have one. That's fine. Okay. Where is the Dusclopses? Okay, they're over here. And like the gay cook, I don't even remember who that was. I just didn't really care much for May and Brendan. I like how they included a whole bunch of shipping in the anime for some reason. Then they're like, oh, well, Ash has always been friends with Serena. Meanwhile, all the male characters exist. They're just not major parts of the story. Like, could you imagine being like, Gold exists? Is he even called Gold? He's called Ethan. And he had like, they don't really show up ever, which kind of sucks. I wish the Pokemon anime would just have stuck. Expand that fucking mythology, man. What the fuck? Thank you. Don't badmouth May. I'm not saying they're terrible. It's just here's all these characters and you know they're gone once their game is up. They almost never come back. Like, to me, that's just kind of heartbreaking because if you had a favorite, you know she's never coming back. Brock basically never comes back and Ash never grows up, which also kind of is whatever. Vintage Story, ever heard of it? No. She's the archetypal childhood friend romance. Is she? Not May, Serena? You know, Ash didn't see her for, well, I don't know how long because Ash doesn't age. May? How is she the childhood friend? Ash didn't meet her until he went to Hoenn. I still hold that Ash should have been revealed to be like 18 or something. They should have had him take off the hat and give it to Go and be like, well, my journey's over. I've done everything I needed to, Go. He turned back, he's actually like a full adult. Like he just was envisioning himself as like a kid the whole time. He never let go of that childhood spirit until he finally accomplished his goal, which would be wild. And I will absolutely watch the Pokemon series because, man, that shit hits different when you're older. This is one of the oldest series I play. Spyro, this, Mario, Pikmin, Metroid, and Pokemon. And I had Crash 3. And I had Rayman 1 and 2, even though Rayman 1 is not a game that you can complete. You have to 100% it. Is that it? Alright. Nothing. Very nice. Unfortunately. I obsess over dairy products. Oh my god, dude. You're unhinged. That's the most unhinged thing I've ever seen in my life. Alright, when we're done, I'm not even going to look, because if I look, I'm going to want to go back out. Before we end, let's open all these packages by Curie, Noah, Rose, 4X. This is a game that has offline, because even if, let's say the servers go down for this game, they pull them, they still spawn packages. They just have normal names. So this is a game that has achieved the Stop Killing Games initiative, which is pretty cool. You could always play this game. It doesn't matter what year. You'll be able to get packages, which will then allow you to use, you know, buy whatever. All right. Okay, folks, that's going to be it for today's stream. I want to thank everyone who showed up. We had a good time, got a lot of stuff done. Very fun. Thanks Narg, thanks Devin, thanks Viv, and thanks of course to Gundam Otaku for sticking around. Really appreciate it. I will see you all tomorrow, roughly same time for Avatar, the Blue People, the Blue Man Group. And yeah, let's change slides. Oh, let me not drop scissors on my foot. That would be really bad. Could you imagine, dude? Yep. All right, folks. It's been fun.
Not enough cash, stranger. What are you buying? You are coping and seething.
Steen, listen to me.
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
Isn't that cute? But it's wrong!